In this video, we're going to walk through how to change the work type of multiple tasks using the bulk change function within Jira. So here you can see I have this story right here, and I have this story right here. I want to change both of these to be task work types rather than the stories. We're going to first narrow down the tasks that we want to update, so these two right here, by using JQL. You can see that they both report to the MKT-1 parent and epic, and we are going to use that information, and they're both in the to-do status and open. So we're going to use that information to narrow down our search and use the bulk change function to actually change these from stories to tasks. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come over to All Work. And you want to make sure that you are toggled on JQL and not basic. So make sure you have JQL selected. The other thing you want to make sure is that you also have the list view and not the detailed view selected. So if your screen looks different from what you see here and not necessarily just the columns, if it looks like this is the detail view. Just make sure that you're switched over to list view. All right, the first thing that I'm going to do here is I'm going to add the columns I want to see. So I'm going to select parent. I'm also going to select status. And I'm also going to add the resolution field to the view here. The way that you add or remove columns that you want to see is by selecting this Configure Columns button in the right-hand corner. And you can click and drag them in whatever order that you want. All right, next thing that we're going to do is we are going to come to the JQL here, and we are going to narrow down to find the stories that I actually want to change into tasks. So again, remember they roll up to this MKT-1 epic. So if we hit the drop down in this view, you should see the second story that we want to change to a task. You should see this one that we want to change. So there are a number of ways that you can go about finding the task that you actually want to go through and change. But in this video, we're going to walk through a different way to go through and find that, or rather just one way to go through and find that through JQL. So we're going to leave project equals marketing, and we're going to type in and. We're going to get rid of everything behind project equals marketing, and we're going to type in and. Parent equals, again, that parent equals the key MKT-1. We select that. So let's hit enter and let's see what shows there. Now you can see we have all of the tasks that have the MKT-1 epic as the parent. However, we don't care about changing and updating the items here that are already marked as done. We only care about updating the ones that are in the to-do status. And so we're going to add that parameter into our JQL query. So we have product equals marketing and parent equals MKT-1. We're going to type and status equals to-do. And we are going to hit enter. And now you can see that the two tasks, or rather the two stories that we want to change into tasks, are listed here in our JQL. Now that we've narrowed down our list using JQL to identify the work items that we want to change into tasks from stories, the next thing that we're going to do is use the bulk change function to actually move those from a story to a task. The first thing that you're going to do is you're going to hit the ellipsis icon in the top right hand corner, and you are going to go to bulk change work items. From here, you are going to select all of those work items. and then you're going to hit next. Now you're going to move issues. And when you select move issues, this is to move issues to new projects or to move issues to new issue types. Issue types are also what's known as work types now that Jira has updated their terminology. And so we want to move issues to a new issue type. So we're going to select next. And from here, we're going to leave this in the project, but this is where you can change the work type. So story equals task. Then you select next. And I don't want to send an email update for any of these changes, though if you do want to notify anyone that was assigned to those stories that will now have a change to now be a task, you can go ahead and select this checkbox for change management purposes. But in this example, I'm going to leave that blank and I'm going to select next. And here it asks you to confirm your changes that you do in fact want to change the issue type to a task. So I'm going to confirm these changes. Perfect. Now it says that my bulk change operation is complete. So I'm going to select done. And now we are going to, oh, I didn't even need to hit refresh. You can see now that these two items have now been changed from a story to a task. So this is how you can use the bulk change function to update the work type or the issue type of a task from one to another. Just keep in mind that within your project, a story, for example, versus a task, they may have different fields available to them. And if you don't have the same fields in one work type to another work type, you could potentially lose data when you do that migration. If you do lose data, then it will show in the history log, but it's just something to keep in mind when you are going through and making these changes. For more information on what this looks like, view our previous video on how to move tasks from one Jira project to another. And it goes in more depth explaining what to look for and where to look for that information to make sure that you don't lose any of your data.